take a second to look around. I can feel the smiles, let me break it down. Take it up with computer love, FutureLand, the plug, hit you with a buzz.
Awesome and amazing day, you all. Welcome back to FutureLand 365 right here on WOVU 95.9. I'm Nikki B.
And I'm vibing out. It's just Joseph here. We having a good time.
A good time,
Yeah,
yes.
how we do.
Right here where we showcase and highlight Cleveland's innovators, entrepreneurs, and creators.
That's right.
WOVU LP Cleveland.
All right, you all. I'm so excited. I'm like so excited.
Yeah. Me too.
Because we have some amazing women in the building today. They are
yeah.
definitely innovators, creators, and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
they
are.
stepped out there. They were like, you know what? I do not see it in corporate, so I need to
Right.
create my own space, create
Oh,
my
yeah.
own table
Oh, yeah.
to make sure that my community is served right. So I love that so much. Should we just jump right into it?
I think so. I don't think we should keep the people waiting.
Don't
Not with
keep
these
you all waiting.
heavy hitters.
So if you all have heard of the Pink and Black Honors, if you haven't, I mean, you need to tap in, right?
Definitely.
If you have heard of the Pink Party Retreat,
Mm-hmm.
ladies, let me hear you, right? We had a wonderful time last year. So you all, we have the awesome, the amazing Miss Tenora Edwards
Yeah.
in the building. And we have Miss Nikki in the building too, because when you see Miss Tenora, you see Miss Nikki too, right?
Yeah.
She is going to make sure that Miss Tenora her schedule is tight. The agenda is ran correctly and on time. I was a witness to that. She was like, Nikki, I need you here. I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. So you all, I'm so excited about this conversation so that people can really understand and see and know more about the work that you all do within the community, not only with women, right, but definitely with those entrepreneurs and those leaders in the community, and how you highlight those individuals and give them their flowers and those things. You all, my mom is like calling me. I'm like, hold on, Mom. Hey, call you back, girlfriend. So she's the only one that can get through when my phone is on D&D. Do not disturb. So Miss Tenora, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Miss Nikki, thank you as well.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, Miss Tenora, we'll start with you. Who is Tenora Edwards?
So before we jump into me, I'm just going to say Nikki is awesome. She's
Yeah.
actually the executive director for the Pink Party Retreat.
There we go.
I actually have 2 assistants that are out of town, so she just jumps in and serves and supports me where she doesn't have to, but she goes that extra mile to make sure all of our entities are running smoothly. So she's just a blessing. I just wanted to give her that shout out.
That's so important
Thank you. I
to highlight,
appreciate that.
let people know exactly where they sit and how they serve and what capacity they do that. So yeah, kudos to you, Miss Nikki. Absolutely, Miss Executive.
That's right.
We love that. So yes, Miss Tenora, and that goes to show who you are, right?
Yeah, truly.
With that shows who you are. You're very humble, but you also understand your purpose.
Yes, I do. And I'm an encourager and a supporter of women in community. So a couple years ago, who am I? I'm a mom of 3. All of my children are grown. And after the last one went off to school, I decided it's my time to kind of branch out and try some new things, some things I've always wanted to do. And I'm a strong believer of God.
Amen.
And in my quiet time, trying to find my next steps and my direction, I gave him my yes.
Whew.
And in doing so, a lot of doors began to open. A lot of opportunities began to present itself to me. I felt like I almost came from the back to the front, but not under my own guidance. He moved everything for me, so I give God credit and glory in everything that I do. So he's the foundation of all of our entities.
Amen. I love that so much. He says, if you humble yourself and pray, he will exalt you.
Yeah.
Joseph, I think you were just talking about that on your IG about, shifting your name and letting people know exactly simply who you are. And because you've humbled yourself, that he has opened doors and opportunities
All glory to God
for you
All
as
glory to
well.
God.
So We're all in agreement with that.
Yeah.
So also, Miss Nora, how did you become CEO of Excel Incorporated? That's one. Is that the overarching everything? Is that the foundation of all of the things, or
On the entrepreneurial side, yes. Pink Party Retreat is actually our nonprofit foundation, and Nikki can definitely go into the branches of the other entities that were birthed under the Pink Party Retreat. But funny story, Excel Inc., that's my child care center.
Okay.
So I actually, I had no idea or no plans on becoming an entrepreneur. That was not in my goal. I went to Ohio
Really?
University. I went to school for criminal justice. I actually was completing the police academy when I had my youngest son, and I took him to daycare one day, and when I left, he just looked so sad, and I didn't want to leave them anymore.
Yeah.
So that's when I pivoted into becoming an entrepreneur. I said, I'm going to start my own center, my own program, where I can be with my children, I can raise them, I could prepare them for their future and not just always be at work. So that's how I ended up 25 years ago in opening a child care center.
Wow. That's
well,
amazing.
I think that is a lot of times how, especially within our community, how our businesses are created because we see a problem.
Yes.
Or we see a deficit, or we see the bridge doesn't finish. And we're like, hey, I need to finish this. And whoever's going to come with me to help me build this, let's go ahead and do that. Wow, that's amazing. And again, that really shares so much more about who you are. I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing
Absolutely.
that. I think it is a funny story, but I also think that it's a part of the story that people resonate with. Yeah, because not everyone has the gall or the confidence to say, I'm going to take this risk.
Yeah.
Right. Although I have this degree or this education, I mean, because it's so different, but I do know some of those skills are transferable. You probably had to put a lot of those kids in handcuffs.
Pretty much.
Like, hey, sit down. Or be authoritative, you know.
Was very helpful.
Yeah. So now how did you pivot into having a nonprofit with the Pink Party Retreat?
So again, God is so amazing. I guess he had this all planned for me. I just didn't know. I wasn't aligned to his plan. So here I am trying to figure out, well, I can do this. And I ran into a lot of brick walls being an entrepreneur. That's why my passion is also for entrepreneurs. I was self-taught. I did go back and take classes, but I had to learn the hard way. I was a first generation, well, my grandfather was an entrepreneur, but a first generation owning a brick and mortar and going there daily and actually learning about taxes, and I hit some hard spots in those areas. And, I had to really learn how to do my accounting, not to just trust everyone to oversee your business. So it was 25 years of lessons and a lot of things birthed out of pain. As you hear my story and learn, a lot of things came with trial and error. It came with a lot of heartache. And it brought me to where I am today to be strong. And that's why I have compassion for entrepreneurs, because I understand the road that we have to take. And it also led me to this year we'll be coming out with a book titled The Other Side of Entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Yes, and it talks about some of the pains and the heartaches and the lessons that entrepreneurs have to endure.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I can see that compassion. If you all can't see, if you're just listening to the radio, she does definitely is showing that with her body language, her hand gestures. She has a lot of passion for entrepreneurs because she's bumped her head a lot and had a lot of obstacles and barriers. So is that how you transitioned into, is it consulting work or for other entrepreneurs? Is that how that came about?
Yes, very much so. I think around COVID, or around the time I told you my daughter graduated and I wanted to explore other opportunities, I decided to, well, actually, God has shown me. I want you to take these lessons, and then I share the story about the lesson of my brother. So he's one of the main reasons why I'm in this field of mentorship and support and providing resources for entrepreneurs, because he was an entrepreneur that was unskilled, untrained, and we all know someone like that. Well, I can do this, or I can take on this job, but not having the proper resources. But by him not having the proper resources or training, it cost him his life.
Wow.
Yeah, he took a job cutting down a tree, and that was not his skill set. And unfortunately, the tree crushed him to death.
Wow.
And I share
So
that
sad.
story with many, as I speak, because I want people to understand the importance of educating yourself. I created the acronyms RENA, resources, education. That's so important. Having resources, education, networking, and aligning to your purpose. You can't walk in someone else's gift or purpose. Align to your purpose.
Yeah, that's so powerful.
That's so, and it's easy to remember that, right?
Yes.
So,
RENA. It's actually my mom's name, her middle name. So
how purposeful is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and it helps me to, I teach that. I teach about, getting the right resources. Going back and mentorship, I'm sure we'll talk about that down the line. But those things are very, very important for entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing
So
that.
I want to know about the birth of Pink and Black Honors, and because I got a chance to attend last year's, and I was blown away at just how excellent and just the honor that is shown there, and the giving back. And what I love about it is people are getting their flowers.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's so important, because Cleveland is a place where there's so much community work. So many people are doing great things, but we just keep our head down and just keep doing it because we're passionate about the work we're doing. And so to look up and realize, oh, wait, I'm being, honored for the work that I'm doing, it gives you more of a, a passion to continue on, because it's a lot of roadblocks, a lot of hardships. And so that it's very important work. So tell me, because I just got hip last year, and y'all have been doing work for a very long time, so kind of talk about that.
So this is our third year, and I have to be honest, I'm still trying to figure out how did I get here, but it's, again, I have to credit God, because I could not have thought of all these things to, and creating this space. He gave me a vision, and I just gave him my yes, that I would see it through. And in the beginning, I'm like, I don't even really know that many people. Like, is anybody going to show up? And when during the process of receiving the downloads and the vision, he said, I want you to honor entrepreneurs. And I said, honor entrepreneurs. It didn't make sense to me, but I'm still moving in the flow of it. But later I understood why. Because he also said to me that entrepreneurs are consistent. They show up. They're faith walkers, because they have to believe in what they're starting, the businesses that they're starting. They have to have faith somewhere down the line. So he was sharing all these different things to me. He said they're special to me, and they're go-getters, and all these words started coming. And it really wasn't me. It was him acknowledging those people. He has to use us. He needs people to actually see things through it. And again, with my yes, people were able to get recognized that probably have been overlooked for years. And that's what I love about the Pink and Black Honors. We have some people that are really doing great things and their names are known in the city, and then we have some people, it's a combination of people that are just getting their feet wet. But we see you. We acknowledge you, and it brings our city together.
It does.
And it's just,
it does, for
it's
sure.
an awesome space for entrepreneurs.
Yeah. And to connect with other people and to see okay, this is someone in my field that is, having success and doing things that, that are impactful. And how can we connect? How can I serve and help? And so you have those opportunities to connect with individuals who you probably, wouldn't see. So
absolutely. And see face to face and get Zanzibar. I've never met him. I've been to but just to have an opportunity to talk with him and to honor him. And this year, the last year, we became more intentional, more purposeful, collecting data, seeing how can we get involved in the community. Now we have the concept. So it was a learning experience as we, now we have the concept. But now let's really get purposeful. How can this event help the city?
Right.
We began partnerships with Jumpstart and doing Impact Day. Maybe you want to share some.
Yes, so we had the opportunity to collaborate with Jumpstart on Impact Day. So all of the entrepreneurs that were honored at Pink and Black Honors last year, we were like, well, how do we get them to a point? How do we help them position themselves better to be able to be more impactful in the community and be able to give back like we're pouring into them, so that we just keep pouring and then it becomes an overflow where we're all just pouring into each other. And so then we linked up with Jumpstart and we just brought in resources and had conversations, those one-on-one conversations that we don't necessarily get all the time, but we were able to connect people who I didn't even know we were in the room with so-and-so. And so it was a matter of getting them connected and having those conversations and then getting them the help to be able to be activated in those spaces. So now I know who I need to talk to about my taxes. I know how to get my certifications. And so it's really a space where we are making sure that people, we're not just honoring you, we're honoring you and we're taking the next step to educate you.
And we started creating different creative networks similar to what you guys do. But, like we had game night. We just started doing
bosses,
right. And, we kind of connect people. Some of us go to church together on Sunday. We just go out to dinner sometimes. It's turning into more of a family, support.
A real community support.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And I'm really excited about that. This year we're doing a book drive, like the entrepreneurs that'll be honored this year. They're going to take part in community activities. So we're going to do a book drive and
book drive.
We're doing reading with a couple of different, with the daycares and a couple of different schools. Entrepreneurs will go in, and I think we selected kindergarten or first grade. Well, they'll be able to sit down and read and engage with the children and give out books. So.
I love that.
That's amazing.
That connection with, again, we always talk about, we always find a way, or the Lord always sheds light for us exactly why we do what we do here at FutureLand 365. It's not just, the entrepreneurs, but it's what and how we serve in the community and connecting those bridges like we were just talking about earlier. So sharing, those stories with the children, right? They're going to be inspired. They are not going to forget, right? Miss Tenora Edwards, reading a book to them, or just Joseph, right? Tapping into a flow or reading the book in a flow kind of way, like, oh man, that guy, he's so cool. So they're going to be inspired, right? And it builds their confidence as well to see someone that looks like them, right? Or talks like them or dresses like them to do, what they want to do or whatever idea they may have. Is not far-fetched. It is not out there in space. I mean, unless you want to be an astronaut. So that's amazing. So I guess shifting gears a little bit, Miss Nikki, so the Pink Party Retreat. Let's talk about something fun. Although, sharing and being an entrepreneur, it can be fun, but it can be brutal as well. So let's talk about the Pink Party Retreat and how that helps women to have a retreat and a getaway, to have a good time or let their hair down or get back centered.
Well, I want to say Pink Party is a safe, loving space for women. Like Miss Tenora, she's saying things about me, but she really cultivated a space that allows women to let their hair down, literally, figuratively. It's really a space where women can feel safe, where we can connect. You've attended a retreat, and
it was so much fun last year.
It's really a space for you just to be yourself and authentic and to share with other women. And so we know that sometimes as women, we can be in a battle state and we don't necessarily feel safe with with each other, but we've created a space where you can feel safe, where you can feel loved, and there's compassion there. I mean, look at our leader. There's compassion there, and there's storytelling there, and there's honesty there. And so Pink Party is really, that's like the umbrella over everything. It's the place that sets the love, and that's how, like, we were just having a conversation, it's really a loving space, and that's how I believe we can show entrepreneurs compassion, we can show our brothers in the community compassion, because Pink Party is for the ladies, of course. We love it there, but we're also creating a space for men, ManCave, and that's our initiative we're jumping off this year, where we are creating the same space we create for women for the brothers, and I'm so super excited. I gotta pull up. I gotta pull up.
Shout out my fellas out there. We got a place. Got a place.
You have to pull up, because what it is like creating a space for families, men and women, to reconnect, to be impactful with our children, to have those conversations that we're not having. Men aren't having all of these conversations with other men. You might be having them at the barber shop, but there are men that we're not reaching. We want to bring all of that into one space. So we're actually creating a barbershop space for men to have that. You know, somebody get a shave and you guys have a conversation. We're creating a space for you to get mental health help that you need, and resources, and so job readiness and entrepreneurs. So we're creating all that space for men, just like we do for the women. So it really started with a sleepover. It started out with a sleepover and women coming together and having a game night and having conversation, and then building it out and just seeing. I think we've impacted with, I want to say now we're probably at 2,500 women, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've reached so many women from here to Canada. You know, I think sometimes people don't realize that from here to Canada, we've reached women of all, I want to say our oldest person, maybe 84. So, and our youngest, like we're our youngest, maybe 12, because we look at her granddaughter and my daughter. You know, it's about us pouring back into that, making sure that the legacy of sisterhood lives on. And now we're starting the legacy of brotherhood.
Oh my gosh, this is so good, talking about legacy and how things were started, all that good stuff. But I think right now, we need to take a little chill pill real quick, because we have so much going on.
I'm excited about what they're talking about, but when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation on leadership, innovation, and how to really empower our communities. But this is exciting stuff, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? And we are back here on the FutureLand 365 radio show and live podcast. And we got some amazing guests. We got Tenora and Nikki in the house, and I'm here alongside of my lovely co-host, Nikki B.
He's got the lovely part, right? Yes. Hey, Joseph, we are back, you all. So excited. Miss Tenora, Miss Nikki in the building. Now, before we left for a minute, we were talking to Miss Nikki. She was sharing so much about the Pink Party retreat, and now the ManCave. Did I say that right? The ManCave?
The ManCave.
So, girlfriend, tell me more about the ManCave. Like, when is that happening, and who's going to be there? Is there a panel? Is there a one-on-one conversations? Just a group discussion?
So it's
going to be food?
There will be food. Now, one thing you need to know about Pink Party, and I think you've experienced, is there's going to be food. We're going to definitely set a vibe. It's definitely going to be a vibe. And so, so there are panel discussions going. Like I said, we have we're setting up a barbershop for them they be able to have those conversations. And then we're having workshops. Our keynote is Joe Little, and he's going to tell his story. I'm really excited for him to tell his story. And then we have workshops with Chase, who they're going to do financial readiness for us. I'm trying to think of, I'm going through the agenda. We can't forget
Pastor Judah.
Right, Pastor Judah is going to bring us home on Sunday. The theme this year is every man is a son. And so all men have that in common. Every man is a son. So he's going to deliver that message on Sunday. But we have a toward employment coming to do job readiness. We have Philly Whedon coming to do boss talk for those entrepreneurs who want to be in that room.
Oh my gosh,
so
it's a fire
I'm there. I am there.
What else? So good. We have Waverly's doing the barbershop talk, along with Rich Blends and it's
Rich Blends,
Polished
yes.
Pro,
Very
JB.
cool.
So he'll be doing that talk. And I'm trying
Very
to think.
cool.
We have Ishmael Douglas coming in to do a talk with the elders to combine that youth
Yeah.
conversation. And then we have
Nice.
something for the youth with one of our other committee members. So we got a
Wow.
great lineup of men who come together and they're
Yeah.
like, this is what we need to talk about. And this is so.
Yeah.
We as the Pink Party, we're in service to the men that sit on this community, because we realize is that we can step in for the ladies, we can do all that, but it's going to take a man to
Yeah.
lead this part. But we want to make sure a big part of Pink Party is its service to community. We do a lot of service work out in the community. As far as we've done bedroom makeovers.
I
for
was
little
gonna
ladies.
say, you
Yes.
know, the bedroom makeover. It was all over my social media, you know.
so
And I have a
amazing.
girl group. Well, I have a couple of girl groups, and they were in there like, "Oh, my niece entered. My niece, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?" So tell us how that. First of all, how did that come about? And second of all, how did you guys plan that out to execute on that?
So
Go ahead.
I am a visionary, and so I don't just get to sit and make these things come to me. And even with ManCave, because I know some men were like, "Well, how are you guys?" But I get the assignment and we see it through. So we pulled in a team of men to actually, you know, create the space after I gave them what I saw. Same thing with the. And my team is
The
like,
pretty
don't
and
you
pink."
create anything?
It was right after the retreat. Like, we got to do a bedroom. I'm like,
Yes.
okay.
And it was it was three young girls.
Amazing.
How they just came together and we, you know, met their father who was a single dad, and we were able to just redo their room. It was so touching. Then we
Wow.
bought them tablets afterwards, but
Wow.
it was just something that was needed.
Yeah.
And if you listen and align to your assignment, he'll give you the assignment.
Come on now.
But it's if you'll give your yes.
Can you say that one more time?
Let me try to remember. If you listen
Listen.
and align to your assignment
Mm.
and give your yes, then, I mean, nothing. That's the blessing of it. He needs our yes. He needs us to do the actual work.
Yeah.
And I can sit there, and when I'm quiet and still, I can hear, okay, this is next, and I have to take it to the team like, guys, this is what we have to do. And thank God they're very supportive of what comes to me, even with ManCave. In the meetings, we have the men run the meetings, but we let them know we're here to serve.
Wow.
We love our men. We want to serve.
Come on now.
Big snaps, drop
Yes.
bombs, claps, all the things.
And that's so important, because you see a lot of, you know, women-led initiatives, and they kind of like exclude the men, like, you know, kind of keep them on the outside. But when you can bring that makes because we're made to work together in unison, you know. And a man is so much less when he doesn't have a powerful woman by his side, and vice versa. And so when you include that, it just only builds you up more and builds the man up more. And so I think that's amazing. I love to hear that.
Yes,
That's
I'm
so
really
amazing.
excited
I'm
to see
so
that.
excited. Yes.
Because and for me it's humbling, because I am used to, well, let's do it this way, you know, my leadership, but I take a step back and we serve and we listen.
And how impactful is that as well? Even for you being a leader, it is a opportunity for you to trust. Yeah, that's something too. And at leadership roles, you think we have to take this and do that and do that, and it's like no, I just had the vision. It was my assignment to give it and to delegate. So you have to trust in that, which I think is so important as women and as men, to trust in our femininity and trust in our masculinity, right? And together we build amazing, strong, confident, creative, prosperous communities.
Come
right?
on now, Nikki B. Come on now.
And that's so good. And something else that came to mind as well is we all really have the same purpose. Yeah, I know we are in a society where it's like, what's my purpose, right? What's my purpose? What do I do? Well, we all have the same purpose, and that is to give glory to God, right?
Yeah,
And to
so
serve
true.
Him and to magnify Him and to humble ourselves. However, here is where it really gets specific. We all have a different assignment, right? So what you're talking about, you do have to get quiet, because those assignments are specifically for Miss Tenora, specifically for Just Joseph, specifically for our main guy back here, for our production, Big Real, in the building on the production side.
Shout out Perspective Filmworks.
Shout out for sure. They major storytellers, right? And so without them, we would not be able to show you guys a visual behind these conversations. You would actually have to play it in your own minds, right? But we are here to cultivate and to have our narratives told ourselves, right? Not have someone else share it. So I think that's so important. I definitely had to highlight that because that was just downloaded to me. And so I had to tap into the flow and say, yes, okay, Lord, let me share it. Okay.
That's right. But I saw you took a look over at Nikki when she said about trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want you to hit on that.
We just had this conversation.
Oh, wow.
I've had Pink Party for 15 years, and I birthed it, and I had to hand that baby over to her.
Wow.
So this year we took a lot of time getting to understand the vision. It's like I had to pour the whole vision into her. And she's been, and I was just sharing with her, I said, I'm going to tell you the secret sauce to the Pink Party as you move it to the next level, because now it's handed to her because I've done my part. She takes it to the next level. And I said the secret sauce is but you're doing it.
Yeah.
And the secret sauce to it is love. And that's the secret sauce to all of my entities. It's entrepreneurs, it's Pink and Black Honors, but underneath we gotta love our community. We gotta love each other through the pain. I'm not perfect, I'm learning because I'm learning as we grow as well. But that's our foundation. That's why the Pink Party Retreat is the foundation to ManCave, Pink and Black Honors, Myrna was brought in because I needed a space to provide the resources and the education before we actually get to the Pink and Black Honors, all these pinks. But it was that foundation created to kind of branch this tree out into the community. And I'm telling you, the underlying support and the grounding and the foundation of everything I do is love.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it.
So that's like,
yeah.
Go ahead, Joseph. We're both excited. We're like,
it's just exuding off of her. Like, I feel it as you
really.
speak, and it's a part of who you are.
Every day, so it's just like a pour.
Yeah, amen.
And so
that's how it should be.
Experience.
That's how it should be.
Okay. Look, I'll go now. So that's a perfect segue to talk about Myrna, right? So I won't share exactly what it is. So let everyone, what is Myrna? Is that another one of your creative, cute, yet trendy and acronyms? So what is Myrna? What is that about? And how was that created?
So, leading into the Pink and Black Honors, we weren't able to provide these vendors and as much as I would like to have. So I created this, and I brought in a couple other young ladies, Veranda
Try to speak
Rogers.
a little into the mic so
Yes,
they can hear.
They need to hear this.
Yeah, they gotta hear what you're saying. This is too good.
Yeah, I brought in a couple other ladies that are entrepreneurs, Veranda Rogers, Asia Childers, and Tierra Kent. I brought them in to help us cultivate that and to bring resources to the community and to the entrepreneurs. So this year we're bringing in Chief Womack from Columbus. We have a fireside chat with Dr. Steed, just people that can give them insight, where to go and get funding, where to go to get loans. And we're in partnership now with Chase Bank, which I love. They have been so supportive in providing resources and doing workshops with us and for us. So a lot of people are just coming out to support our initiatives. The city of Cleveland is one of our partners. So it's just been really amazing to have this opportunity.
Yeah, I love that. So what can we expect when well, first of all, like what can we expect, but really number one, how do we get registered? Is it free? Is there a cost to this? And then what can we expect when we walk in the building, and what building are we walking into?
So MYRNA, which stands for originally Minority Resource Networking Expo. So we had to kind of change in order to stay aligned with
I see. Yes.
a lot of changes. So we're now currently the Multi-Resource Networking Expo.
I love the pivot, right?
Yeah.
That's
We
so
had to do a
important.
quick
You have
pivot.
to be able to pivot.
Right.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure our communities, which we are trying to diversify and just be more inclusive
That's
for
good.
everyone in the city.
Yes.
So we kind of branched. Well, we're at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let me say that.
Such a
Nice.
vibe.
This will be our second year
Networking at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
there. So amazing.
Right?
It's such
That's
a nice,
amazing.
fun place. We actually did a video and we got to play the guitars.
Did you?
And the drums. So it was really exciting. But as you come in, you'll get registered, and yes, there's a cost. It's just like
You can't say the actual price, but you can if
Gotcha.
it. Yeah.
You
But
just
there's a
register.
cost.
Go to the website. Get registered.
Absolutely. And then we provide you with a resource bag, and then we have vending tables. Then we have guest panel speakers, which was very engaging, very informative last year. Again, a fireside chat and a keynote speaker. So we just want to make sure everyone walks away with more knowledge, what's available in the city of Cleveland. We work with the Department of Economic Development. There's several organizations that host vending tables for resources there.
I have to say that I was there in the building last year because I was like, oh my goodness, Actually, I've seen Asia Childers. I've seen her
She's
marketing,
phenomenal.
and her energy is,
Next
what?
level.
Next.
Like, you wake up like this?
Right, yeah.
You run your businesses, you talk to your team like this. It's definitely infectious. So I was like, oh, I need to be in the building. I need to talk to some individuals and hear what other people have to say. The audience was buzzing, right? As the speakers were speaking, I heard people say, oh, I'm going to talk to them. Or they were writing notes and we were recording. I was with the the pull-up experience. So y'all know they were cutting up too, right?
Yeah.
So that was amazing. And I have to say, it was definitely impactful for me. I network because at the end of the speaker sessions and all of that, you went to the lower level and you were able to network and talk to those vendors and chase and all of that to get those resources and connect the dots.
Amazing.
As an entrepreneur, how do I get this started? There were businesses such as Ruthie's List and Power Brand. They were there as well.
Yes.
So it was great. And then the pull-up experience, they were interviewing the entrepreneurs. What?
Mm.
So that's free marketing right there for that little snippet that you have. So it's amazing to be in the room. I say this all the time, just Joseph, the environment, there's power in proximity, right?
Yes.
So when you get in the room, you can feel the buzz, you pick up the buzz and you take it with you and you execute on those things. So, oh my gosh, you all, aren't y'all tired? Are you energized?
I think he's just getting us started. You made me think about, I also sit on the advisory council for Congresswoman Chantel Brown.
Okay.
And she has a small business expo coming up. Actually, it's the same day, so we're making sure we host our event after hers because we want to encourage the community to attend her event as well. She's doing amazing work for the city and for entrepreneurs, so I definitely want to support her as well. So just trying to get out, get connected. I'm a part of United Black Fund. I want to mention Mortar for entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Jumpstart definitely has programming for entrepreneurs. So we just want to not reinvent the wheel, but support those that are doing the work.
Yeah. I think that's so important because, here at FutureLand, our biggest thing is now building this ecosystem of those who are actually doing the work and championing them and getting alongside of them. And we see you all as, people who are actually out here making a difference, doing a lot of work that a lot of people may be talking about, but we see it actually happening and showing up. And, on behalf of FutureLand to cover the Pink and Black Honors, it was just amazing to see and witness all of the work that you all do. And so as you all are giving people flowers, we just want to take a moment to give you all, you know, your flowers and just give you a hand clap. So you're doing phenomenal work in it, and it's just really appreciated. So we just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. That means so much, because I think you guys are just amazing. And I truly support and, you know, what you're doing, and just to see this new energy that's vibing through Cleveland is a beautiful thing. It is. So I clap for you all
Thank
as well.
you. I appreciate it. And we're so much more powerful when we come together and we figure out how can we serve. And I think that's the question that we got to ask each other. Like, how can we serve? How can we be a part? You know, and not always looking for something like, hey, what can I get out of this? Because that's, I mean, you might get something for a little bit of time, but when you don't have the right heart posture, it does not have the impact.
Heart posture. I think we got a major amen with that one, Joe. It's a heart posture. It is. It's like you said, the secret sauce. The foundation is love. So all of these, entities and the foundations and the community outreach, all of those things, that's why it works, because it's done with love, right? But not only love, we execute on love as well. So with that being said, and knowing that it's built on love, I'm trying to figure out which success story do I want to hear. Do you guys want to share a success story from all of them? So let's start with Pink Party Retreat, right, Nikki? So I know that you all get feedback and probably letters or emails like, this was so impactful. Thank you so much for creating this space. Like, so what have you heard, or what one or two success stories come to your heart when I'm asking that question?
Wow. So that's a good question. I'm trying to think, because we do get a lot of stories. We do touch a lot of lives. And I think like bringing people together in relationship, women who will come and be like, I don't do women. Like I hear that so much. I don't do women. I don't do women. And then we challenge you by putting you in a cabin together.
Because that's another part of it. We were in a cabin with probably about 20?
Yeah, about 20 25 other women that you
don't
know from all walks of life. And we're like, come and play these games with us, or come and eat a meal with us. And I think from that point, there were so many women that came up afterwards and were like, you know what? We trust you guys. Like you said earlier, like, we trust you guys, and thank you for creating this space for us. And it's like I get to be who I want to be, because you guys are authentically who you guys are. Like you see us show up and like, we just are who we are. We're loving on each other. We're kind to each other. And so when you see that, and like I said, we set the tone. We think about every aspect of the retreat is thought about, like from the smell. Like Pink Party has its own smell. The look of it. Like you're going to know. And we clap them in and we welcome them into the space so that they feel safe. And so I get that. But we also have workshops throughout the year, and more women just coming in and being like, I was so helped by that workshop that you guys conducted, and how can we get connected to you guys more often? And so I really think that, like she said, the foundation is love, and the team exudes love.
Yeah. I love that.
So good. So good.
Mr. Nora has something.
I was thinking of one of the success stories. There's been so many, but I think more so just hearing mothers that have lost children. You know, it's different stories of transparency that come through the Pink Party when we have transparent moments. Mothers that have lost children, women that have been sick, and when you can wrap your arms around another sister and just say, I'm here, I got you. And we check on people, and we take groceries, we do a lot of things that have not been mentioned. So I would think that would be one of our testimonies. So. And for Myrna, I would have to say, there was one young lady, I did not know her name, but I think she may have lost her job or was just trying to find her way, and she broke down crying right there.
Wow.
And see, I'm a crybaby.
Because when you do, I start crying too. Every time.
It's a flow. I told her, I was like, please don't do it.
It's a flow. And someone captured that moment.
Wow.
And I believe it's on my Instagram, but they captured that moment, and it made me feel so purposeful. because I just put my arm around her and you're going to make it. We're going to make it. So those type of, and for Pink and Black Honors, oh my goodness, there's so many. I think Sir Evans and another young man sent
Tremel Orr.
Tremel Orr. Now, I'm telling you, when I read those messages, I just cried like, wow, it's we're doing the work. And, you know, it just inspired me. And we have on our page, Brandon Gates.
Oh my gosh.
That picture, that
video,
moment
yes,
of him winning.
I remember that moment. I'm getting chills right now.
Because he was so
I mean, he was like this.
Yeah.
Like, he was so, because he worked so hard. Like, he's a father as well. He has a 9 to 5 as well. He continues to work on the podcast to find innovative ways to make it more impactful and to share with others, and to he schedules the interviews, like all those things.
And that moment was a testimony for me.
Wow.
It was, this is why you do what you do.
Yeah.
You know, this is why. So
That's
that
amazing.
wasn't a word, you know, it wasn't words. It was just that picture
Yeah.
in that moment. And even, same with Myrna, that picture in that moment. This is what we need to do as a community. Embrace each other.
Pictures are far greater sometimes than words.
Absolutely.
Right?
So I want to know, how can the people support? Can they follow you? Can they, you know, get in touch? Like, how is you lighting up over here, Nikki?
Nikki's
So
like, yes,
let us know how we can be
I love
involved.
it. You can follow all of our social
let's do
media. So Pink Party Retreat has its own social media on Facebook and Instagram. The ManCave, it's ManCave 216. They just started their Instagram page.
Go ahead and follow.
Look, follow right now.
Yes. Pink and Black Honors has its own Facebook and Instagram page. And then Myrna is built off of the Pink Party Retreat. It's pinkparty123.com. And you can get all the information for all of our entities there. So you can get all the events, the dates, everything that will be right there on the Pink Party Retreat
You won't
page.
miss anything if you go to Pink Party.
This is awesome.
pinkparty123.com. And then check out the pinkandblackhonors.com page, because there we get to see Brandon relive his moment.
Yes.
So I think that's super cool. Like, it is really inspiring to see him relive that moment on the page.
Yeah. That's amazing. So I do have a question. It's just buzzing on in my mind. So, Miss Nikki, how did you and Miss Tenora connect? How did this beautiful, purposeful, assigned, divine relationship come to be?
We just talked about this the other day. Facebook reminded me that I met her 7 years ago. I had a podcast, and I picked up a flyer for the Pink Party Retreat, and I was looking to fill a slot. And I was like, hey, so I reached out to Tammy, which is the co-founder of the Pink Party Retreat, and Miss Tenora's sister. And she walked into Panera, I'll never forget, and she just hugged me so tight. And I was like, I'm coming to the retreat.
Love, lead with love.
And I went to the retreat, and I sat there, and I don't honestly recall how we started hanging out. Like, she would be inviting me to stuff, and I'm like, I'm coming. I don't care what you got going on. I'm coming, because she often says, like, you're doing a good, you know, you're helping me out. But it really was the ability. Great leadership makes a difference. Having a sisterhood and someone who believes in you and trusts in you. When she says that she's handing her baby over to me, I don't take that lightly. I have a very clear understanding that she put her heart, blood, sweat, and tears into this. She poured into so many women. And so to be able to have her as a mentor, as a friend, as a leader is just dynamically dope. I don't know any other way to describe it.
Dynamically dope. Let's hashtag that. Dynamically dope, you all.
And so the compassion that you see her present here, this is an everyday walk for her. And so I think we have this conversation. I mentioned it the other day, but she didn't hear it, so I'm going to say it so that she can hear it. We were in the office one day, and she says, don't worry, I got you. And I was like, and I didn't know that myself in sisterhood. I needed to hear that. And when she said it, I said, oh, you gave me a you gave me leeway to cut up. I can be authentically who I am because I know she stands in the gap for me. I stand in the gap for her. And so, you know, for such a time as this
Let's
is the
go.
time.
Come on now.
This
is what this radio show is about now. Now y'all gonna have us hollering and shouting up in here now. Come on, bring
I just
it.
believe that when she said that, it released something for me, something that I have been holding on to. And so we pray together. I know she covers me and I cover her. And so I always tell her, I said, when people ask me like, how do you do this? I'm like, I got a prayer sniper in my corner. She don't miss her mark. She don't miss her mark. And so I'm a prayer sniper in training.
Yes.
But yes, so that really is like, that's the story of how it was God's timing. Because we kept running into each other and just hanging out. And then she's like, hey, I was like, I want to leave my job. And alignment. Creating a space and alignment. It was this is the time. God's timing worked everything out.
Your yes and alignment. Okay. Dynamically dope. That is the first time I've heard that phrase.
I'm dropping a bomb.
I love that, Joseph.
Sometimes.
I like that.
I mean, I think she's a rapper too, y'all. Joseph, you know that's your listen.
That's definitely
you
my
know,
lane.
Use that. I got some more.
Okay. I like that.
I love that so much. Oh my goodness.
Was there something you wanted to add to that?
Those were deep words.
Yeah.
In the mic, please.
I'm very humbled that I can have impact. You know, and sometimes I am a stern teacher. Yeah. But I want not students, but those that I can pour into to get it right and to be successful and sustain and to, you know, just get the concept of purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so powerful.
That's so good.
There's an element of discipleship to this. There's an element of, you know, pouring into the next to pull up and to pass on a legacy that I'm hearing. And it sounds like, you know, when you do that and you see not only like what is to become, like it's really fulfilling to be able to do that and to pass a torch. And now things can grow to a level that you couldn't even take it to because you chose to do that. And it takes time to do that. And there's a humility in that process. So I acknowledge that and appreciate you for that.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. But I always say the student has to be ready for the teacher.
Yeah.
Because it's a process. If the student isn't ready, I can't pour. That's what true. I have. I want to pour all of my experience. But true. if you're a student, that's why mentorship is so important. It's reciprocated. You have to be able to listen. My mentor taught me for 6 years straight. He told me I was hard-headed. So it took 6 years for me to really get it, to get his pour and to humble myself. He gave me 2 words that we worked on, love and humility.
Wow.
So he almost had to, you know, not break me down, but just get me in a posture where I can hear. Yeah. Because if you're not ready to receive, you're going to miss it.
Right.
Yeah, that's so true. So that leads me to this, like ending in you know, in closing and wrapping this show up. I want you to leave some key advice for, you know, aspiring entrepreneurs and community leaders that are looking to make an impact.
So I can make this short and sweet.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I live by this. Allow for error in your growth process. Oof. No one is perfect. We're going to make mistakes. It's how you get back up. So allow for error in your growth process.
So what I hear is what we were talking about pretty much throughout this entire conversation is having compassion for yourself and grace for yourself. You're able to extend that to others as well. Yeah. So that's so good. It just shows how much coaching, being coachable, mentorship and leadership go hand in hand with being an entrepreneur. Yeah. So that's so good.
Man, so I don't know how we're going to do the takeaways today.
Oh my gosh, because
it's usually you with the, you know, I see you got some notes over there, but I got a whole bunch of notes, you know what I'm saying? So they poured into us as well. You want to start off, want me to start it off?
Oh my gosh. Actually, let me ask Nikki. Do you
Okay.
have any advice for entrepreneurs out there who
That's good.
could possibly be in your role and like, hey, I'm gonna leave my job.
Right. I want to walk away. I'm retired. My first retirement. No. Latching on to what she said is be available for correction. I think in the first year of this, being
that's good.
open and available to be corrected and to not take it in a way
But it hurts so much.
Yes, but let it hurt. Let
Yeah.
it hurt. Let it flow, because a person who really wants you to get it is going to correct you in love.
Ooh.
And so when there's love in that correction, you know, it just makes you better. It makes you a better leader. I've had extreme growth this year because I've been open and available to correction. I wasn't always like that. So when she says like there is a time and a place for it, it really was God's divine timing that opened me to being corrected in love and being accepting of that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Wow,
And
that's huge.
That is. And it gets back to those two words, humility and love. Yeah, you have to have humility. And that's the only way. And that, I mean, it's biblical, you know. And we said that. You know, if you humble yourself, you know, God will exalt you. But you can't do anything with pride. You can't do anything with pride.
No.
So
That's right.
that's good.
Joseph.
I know. So much today. This was. I gotta go play this back for myself.
Me too,
If
right?
you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, if you haven't subscribed to and followed us on social media, on Instagram, on X, on all of our platforms at FutureLand CLE, please do that now, because you don't want to miss interviews and information like this. And some jewels were dropped today. And we definitely want to shout out our guests today and just, you know, honor them for the amazing work that you all do.
Yes,
and so we
absolutely.
appreciate you all. And so I'm going to go right into some takeaways,
Please.
because I got some notes over here. But one of the themes that I kept hearing was alignment. And Tenora said, if you just stop and listen, right, and listen and ask God for, you know, what is it that, you know, you're calling me to do, right? Because she talked about all of this work that she's doing now really wasn't in her plans. You didn't think that these were the doors God would open, but, you know, you said that this wasn't the path that you chose, but he chose it for you. And that's just amazing. So it just helps me to remember sometimes I just need to pause and trust. So that was amazing. And then the foundation of everything you do is love. And we have to always get back to that, because love is going to open up doors, and it's going to allow people to be transparent. It's going to allow people to actually grow. Because, you know, it's a lot of people, they got their guards up out here. You know, I've had my guards up, you know, because you don't really know what somebody's intention is. But when you meet somebody in love, it allows those barriers to go down, and you can really have growth. So this is exciting work that you are doing. I'm happy to be a part of it and serve you all however I can as well.
Oh, how amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's Joseph. That's so good. Oh my gosh.
Just from the heart.
Definitely from the heart. You know, what I hear is heart posture, right? Understanding and know what your heart posture is. Also, having compassion with yourself helps you to extend that compassion with others, no matter what industry, what field that you're in. It is important to be kind, and that's a part of being compassionate, right? And then dynamically dope. How can I leave that out? Dang, I mean, I love that so
Bars.
much. And then also what I'm hearing is to be, scripture says something along these lines, and it came to my forefront at the end of last week sometime, is to be as shrewd as a serpent but harmless as a dove, right? So that goes back to what you all were both talking about with being open to correction and open to listen, right? To being coachable, but also understanding too, you can't take advice from everyone, right? So that the harmless as a dove, I feel as if though that's what Miss Tenora embodies, but also she's strategic. Yeah.
Very much
because
so.
she understands the greatest strategist,
That's
right? The creator. So you all, those are my key takeaways.
amazing.
Dang, and I have so many more, but we don't have enough time.
We don't have
for
we're gonna have to have
all
them
of
back.
that.
That's
I
what
think
we're gonna
so.
do.
I love that.
And I would love for, FutureLand 365 to go and actually cover their different events. I think that would be amazing.
That would be absolutely
so people can
phenomenal.
see it firsthand and like how they can get involved. And
Right.
that's what this show is about. And that's why we want to platform you amazing ladies. And thank you so much once again for all the amazing work that you do.
Yes,
Thank you for
absolutely.
having us, for sure.
Well, you all, that's it. That's FutureLand 365 right here on WOVU 95.9, where we highlight Cleveland's innovators, creators, and entrepreneurs right here in the city. Well, you all, that's it.
That's it, y'all.
We are out. Nikki B and
Just Joseph. Until
Peace.
next time.
Moving on, yeah. Moving on, FutureLand,
what's
what's up?
up?
Yeah.